Cancer is not fair. We need to fight harder. We need to understand better. We need to take steps forward.
It is so heartbreaking to see the parents, how they react, but unfortunately, sometimes you have to say no.
A lot of these children, they have dreams. I want to give these children a fighting chance.
The doctors would tell us, when patients hear about this, they don't come back anymore. They just wait for the disease to take over. We just accept it, let it happen.
St. Jude was founded in the 1960s with a goal that no child should die in the dawn of life. And that means any child suffering today of cancer is our responsibility.
At St. Jude, we don't care who cures cancer, we just need to advance the cure.
Our mission is local and global.
This is what we're all called to do, to address the suffering of precious children and their families on a global scale.
Real victories are those that protect human lives. You should be the hope for any child across the globe.
We all exist here on this planet to benefit others.
If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
I think it's the kind of place that stands as a beacon for pediatric cancer.
St. Jude is bold to try and bump cure rates all around the world.
Unbelievable courage to tackle the impossible.
These are the kind of discoveries that you want the world to have.
This is the movement.
We could save more lives.
St. Jude, you're saving so many children.
This is the effort.
So we want to reach out to more children and cure more.
Transform the landscape of pediatric cancer care across the globe.
Help humanity at large.
Every child with cancer should be cured. Our work's not done. Every child
should be able to live a long, healthy life.
And we will not stop until we cure all these children.
You're doing something good, not only for the patients, but for the world. When Danny Thomas said not child should die, he was thinking about kids all over the world.
Well, hey everyone. Hope you enjoyed that. That was last year's opening for Podcast of Hope. And I thought it was appropriate to show that again tonight and to talk about the show about the show. So we're doing a show about the show, and I have perfect folks tonight to help me be hosts for this, co-hosts. There they are. Jesse, Memphis Mafia, and Joshua, the geocaching vlogger.
Hello. Great to see you. This is my favorite podcast about a podcast.
About the podcast.
Every year.
Every year.
I love it. I love talking about the podcast.
The podcast about the podcast. People laugh about it, but it's like, it's funny, but at the same time, it's sort of like, we got to keep doing it because it's just crazy.
Yeah. It's useful as well.
Yeah, it builds the hype. It builds the hype. It builds the anticipation and the excitement behind one of the coolest things that you guys do every single year. So I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to support it as always.
Yeah. Joshua has been with us so much. Looking back at all and we'll talk about the many years of Podcast of Hope. So a couple things. We're going to do a little bit of this twig this week in geocaching, and then we're going to talk about the actual lineup, which should be a fascinating. I think it's fascinating. This is our 10th year for Podcast to Hope. One thing I wanted to remember. Did we see this? Yeah, we did see this guy at the GIF event. We're going to talk about that. Stop, Tom. We're jumping ahead. We'll get to GIF here in a minute. So, podcasttohope.com is out there. It is updated to 2025. If you'd like to give tonight, you can. We'll go to the campaign, the 2025 campaign. Each year, I know it's kind of weird, a little bit weird, but in July, St. Jude does a sort of a reset for the next season, I guess you could call it. And so ours is updated. If you want to go look, go to podcasttohope.com, which is our redirect to the Tiltify website. And I'm going to keep an eye on that tonight. We'll see how we do, but we are still part of the subset. And Jesse, correct me from your knowledge that Christy has given you over the years of when she worked at St. Jude, but we're still part of a grouping of contributors to St. Jude. We're in the Play Live 2025. And what they do is they separate, it makes perfect sense. What they do is they separate all the various groupings of people that donate.
Yeah, it's a major operation, obviously fundraising for St. Jude. It takes a lot to fundraise for it. So, I mean, that in and of itself is a whole division. And they, there's 5Ks and marathons and T-shirt drives and all kinds of stuff that they do. The community does over different areas. We just happen to fall into the online gamer community because podcasting, right? So
yeah, and it makes sense. I think that's not a bad. I don't think that's a bad thing that we're put into that group.
And it really doesn't matter. It's just a way that they organize it to keep up with which segment of society is doing what, and none of that stuff really matters. It just happens to be where we lie, and it's not like we're in competition with anything. We're just trying to get the money raised every year.
Yeah, and we've it's nice too because it's sort of, I guess, in a other way about, we're trying to we're obviously trying to raise money for St. Jude and for childhood cancer. We are part of this separate sort of competition, I guess, with these other gamers and all the like Jesse said, all the ones that are golf or the runners. They all are kind of in different little sections, and so we've been fortunate. We've been lucky that our giving has been really good over the years, and we'll talk about that here in a minute. But we're going to do a little bit of twig this week in geocaching. So I'm going to start the twig, and for me, I did a couple things this weekend. I did a CETO, which was a lot of fun, very well done. Z-Man in Arkansas set that up, and I was fortunate enough to be in Arkansas for also the GIF event. So I went for two things, and that was great. We'll talk about GIF here in a minute, but the CETO is very well done. If y'all have been to, number one, you got to do a CETO at some point. You should do at least one a year, preferably two, at least. And
now, are you saying go to one or host one?
Host one and go to one.
Oh, now you have to host one and go to one once a year.
You should host one and go to one. But if you host one, then it works great if you go to one first, so then you kind of know what you want to do,
right?
But it was very well organized. We had vests, we had little garbage grabbers, and we had plenty of bags to put it in. We had some people grabbing the metal to try to see if they could get a little bit of money back on, that. But if not, it was fine. But it went great. We picked up a lot of bags, and so that was good. And then the other one was a GIF event. And what do you know? Somebody here had a GIF final. He was a finalist.
Yes.
Right down below me, Joshua.
Yes. I was a finalist.
So, yeah. We'll have to get you to talk about your thoughts on your GIF event or your GIF entry, and then talk about the GIF events you got to go to. And I got to see the pictures of that. It was really cool. But very well done. I want to tell you thank you, my friend. That was a really good film festival finalist entry, my friend. It was really fun, especially if you're a little bit older and you remember when Field of Dreams came out.
Yeah.
And it was so well done. Two things. One is if you Field of Dreams, but also if you know anything about Tricacheus.
Yeah, or Gilby. Yeah.
Yes, or the town of Gilby.
Yeah.
I had so many people, Joshua, when there's a part in the, I don't want to give away give away the whole spoiler.
Hold on, we're in the middle of
spoiler. I know we're not going to do it, but there's a point where there's a little bit of a montage and people are like, oh no, I know that one. I've been to the, I know that one. I know.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know that one. I know that one. So it was funny to hear people talking about Gilby some. So it was a lot of fun. But anyway, so that's my twig for the week. So either one of y'all want to go next?
I'll tee Joshua up. I'll go first, then because he did something more exciting than me. So
okay, cool.
I did not host any GIF events. I have not attended any GIF events yet, but I did get out caching a little bit. I did attend a community celebration event, which was pretty neat for a couple of reasons. One, there was some new people there, including a new family that's newer into geocaching, and they kind of showed up, and you could tell that wasn't, they haven't been to many events yet or whatever. They kind of didn't know what to do when they got there. Super nice family, but it was interesting because they had a young kid, and the kid was the geocacher. It wasn't the parents dragging the kid along. The kid was dragging the parents along.
You love that.
And that's very encouraging to see, right?
Yes.
But now technically he wasn't the youngest geocacher there because there was like a 1-year-old there as well. Like a 2-year-old there. I don't know. I didn't ID him, but he was there with his parents. But it was cool to see like a very young kid into the game, and he knew a lot about the game. He told me all kinds of stuff, because I was just kind of talking to him about it, and like he knew when geocaching started, and he's the oldest geocache, so he'd been doing his research on it, and the parents were like, "Yeah, he knows a lot about this already." So they were supportive of him. Obviously, they brought him there, but it was just cool to see that. But it also reminded me, I have not even planned for hosting my CCE event, and I thought in January, I'll get it in no time. It's November. It's November already, so
yes.
I got to do something quickly.
Yeah,
but I didn't go, and Nicole was ragging me in the chat room a minute ago. After this event, they had a second event, which was a swamp rat event.
Right.
They go and tromp through the swamp finding caches or whatever.
Swamp donkeys.
Yeah, it was. I didn't go on that one. A bunch of them went on that one. The little kid didn't, thank goodness, because the water would have been up over his head.
Right.
But it was pretty cool. But I went out yet today and got some good hiking caches, and so that was fun. That was kind of the highlight of my week is the hiking caches, which I hiked for hours and only got a few, but that's perfectly okay with me.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that as well. But a lot of planning needs to happen. I got a CC event. I still haven't done the location list yet this year. It's almost over. I cannot run out of time on these.
Running out of time, you got to get it.
As I'm also still working on my goals for next year, which we'll talk about later in the year, right before the end. But so I still got to get out and have some fun this week. But I did not attend a GIF event, and I did not host one either, obviously. So, but I know somebody that did.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. So
tell us about it. Tell us the whole thing. Well, talk about your week in geocaching, John.
Sure. So I'm going to go back to 2013 because in 2013, I submitted my very first ever GIF video. And this was back in the day before they put them out for the whole worldwide community. I had to actually go to HQ at the block party. And those were the only people that got to see the GIF event. And that year, I'm proud to say, my video, 12 years old now, my geocaching addiction, won the audience award. And so I have not submitted a GIF film since then, since till this year. And I was like, so this is like, this, I'm proud to say I'm 2 for 2, but I've only submitted 2 videos. And so I felt like I had a good idea this year. And I had my friend See My Shell, of course, who's just his cinematography and his skills in editing are so good. So we teamed up and decided to submit a video, and gratefully we got in. And I always said to myself, I promised myself, is if I ever got into the GIF finals again, that I would host an event for sure. And not only would I host an event, but I would host an event inside a real movie theater. So yesterday, that's what we did. It was a beautiful, brand new renovated theater, with the Barca loungers, and they had the popcorn going. People could get popcorn. We had a full house, and it was just so much fun. Oh my gosh, the sound is key. The sound was so good in that theater, and it was just so fun to be able to see not only my video but all the videos on the big screen. So that's what I did this weekend. But you guys, it was a little stressful. Let me tell you why. This is a little behind the scenes. So the GIF committee at HQ was having trouble with the DCP files. So those are the special files that movie theaters show, to have the high quality. They're huge files, and so they were having trouble getting them to the people. The format wasn't right. So I didn't have my file for the film until like the night before, and I sent it to the theater, and they said the file is so big, I have to go home and I have to download it. And he couldn't get it downloaded till midnight. So going into the event, I wasn't even sure if I could play the movie.
Oh wow!
I was very stressful. Thankfully, the DCP file did not work, but thankfully I was able to plug in my laptop.
Oh God!
Who knew you could plug your laptop into a movie?
I did not know that.
Well, I was worried that I couldn't. So when I plugged it in, you wouldn't believe the relief I had as people were about to arrive 10 minutes beforehand, and it all worked out fine, but it was a little bit stressful.
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's a lot stressful.
Yeah, no kidding.
Very stressful.
Yeah.
No, it was really good. Somebody's asking about what was your gift that was rejected. Yeah, so Julie's reminding me about a video, and I've got it. It's out there on the website, so you can go find it. But I did a music video. Joshua's is front and center in that video. But it was to thank TFTC, or Thanks for the Cash, by Travel Bugs, and it was fun to make. It really was, and we had a great time making the film. And it never made it to into the. It was not a finalist, but it was fun to do.
Yeah.
This year's was fascinating. There were so many. It was very. I don't remember if you remember other years, Josh, but there were some things that were done this year, and I don't want to do any spoilers because some people still have gift events to go to.
Right.
But there was some things that were very unique, and so Too Hot for HQ. Trying to convince us to host a Too Hot for HQ.
That's awesome.
And show films that didn't make finalist status. Yeah. That's
great.
Pretty funny. But great fun. They were all good times. We had, which is kind of funny. I was at Arkansas Tech. And so we had a bunch of Arkansas folks. There was a lot of fun. And, but we had a reviewer that ran it because it was his event. So it was kind of funny. And so we kind of gave him a hard time. There's one of the videos toward the end of the list, and if you remember one of the last videos in the order, they hit it in a tree, and the way they hid it in the tree, I don't know. It's a little bit. Don't know. Don't know if a reviewer will allow that. And so we're like,
creative license. It's okay.
Yeah, we were telling Frank, we're like, hey, that's we can do that, right? It's legal. He's like, he's not saying anything, but it was just like, it was just funny that he that was brought up. But great fun. It was good. So, all right. Well, though that was kind of. And you have some other? You had a couple other items, Jesse, or you're up
not
to
me.
date.
That's,
We're good.
yeah, nothing that exciting. So
okay, no, you're good. So we're gonna go through the list again. We've done this. This is our 10th year doing Podcast to Hope. And I'll give you the amount we've raised here in a minute. I want to start with it's been a couple different things over the years as far as times. So I know people are like, well, what time is this one and when is it going to start? So we're going to go through that tonight, and we'll post the picture of all the entries for this year. We are starting at 4 p.m. Central. So I'm going to constantly bring that up. So 4 p.m. Central will be 5 p.m. Eastern. So I want to bring up the first entry for the first reveal, which is our 4 p.m. time, and that is Scott Wade. His title is Senior Technology Executive for the Atlanta Braves. So again, we've got a all-star lineup tonight. I mean, we really do. You're going to see some incredible
kind of every field too. It's all over the place.
Yeah, so much variety. Very different
right.
segments of I don't know, entertainment, society, sports, you name it, you got it.
Yeah. So this one's fascinating. He is a cashier, but his wife is more of a cashier. So Sandy Wade.
Works, though. Cashier adjacent works as well, right?
Yeah.
Cashier, yeah.
Especially for Podcast of Hope. It's like cashier adjacent or somebody that we want to convince to become a geocacher.
Right.
So he should be interesting. Senior Technology Executive. What's funny is Sandy said she gave me a bunch of things that we're gonna talk about because she'll sort of rib her husband about stuff, and there's a couple things that he's going to talk about. I don't want to give away his whole. I don't want to spill too many beans,
right?
But there's a couple things that you're like, how interesting could that be? It's like he's the senior technology executive, so he is the top person for the Atlanta Braves, and there's so much today. If you think about it, there's so much today that is done in the tech field, even in baseball, still analog, but everything around it can be digital. There's so many things that go on from a digital perspective. So as far as the concessions, the video boards, there's a lot that goes into that. And I think it's fascinating. The little bits that I've heard from her about what they do nowadays. Think about something like drones. I mean, everything like Turner Field where the Atlanta Braves play, they have to be ready for people to just sort of randomly fly their drone into the, hey, let's see if I can fly my drone into the middle of the Braves baseball game. It's like, so they've got to be able to stop those kind of things. Think of all the things that can happen that they have to be ready for.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. It really is. So,
well, there's so much around. Like you said, baseball may be analog, but the whole world it survives in is digital, high tech, cutting edge technology.
Yeah. Concessions, how the way that people can purchase their dinner, at the ballpark, is can be so technology advanced.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You can sign up. You can get part of their technology where you can go in nowadays. And so many of these, it's not just baseball, but it's many public locations where you can walk in, you can go in, you can get your food, walk out. You don't pay anything, but they will record what you got, and then you'll get your bill. And so far, from what I've understood, it works great.
So you're saying this is
like
coming
that
to
are
Mega
becoming
soon, right? This is
What's
what
that?
Mega is going to look like really soon.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect for a mega, right?
Yeah, exactly. That'll happen soon.
But that is becoming and I don't know if either one of y'all been to a place where you can just walk up, get things, and it sort of records.
Yes.
It's I'm still suspicious of it, but it works. So
it's amazing. The Minnesota Twins, the last time I was there, I mean, they just have facial recognition. So your face is connected to your ticket. You just walk through. You don't have to show anybody anything. You just walk in.
Yeah.
And you're in. It's amazing. And I think in some places they can connect your face to like ordering food. So you just walk up and it scans your face and takes it out of your checking account.
Yeah, right.
So it's just kind of money can flow away very easily when it's just coming off your face, I guess. It's probably pretty smart.
That is wild. That is that's like so futuristic. And it's here. It's real.
It's here.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Somebody was asking how many submissions this year, I think was the question. We're going to have 7 this year. Sometimes we've had 8, sometimes we have 6. 7 was the golden number for our 10th year. So we're going to go from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. Or 5 p.m. to midnight, depending on if you're Eastern time or wherever you are in the world. We're going to be 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. is the time for Podcast to Hope. So let's switch gears now and let's talk about 5 p.m., which is our next one. So again, these are going to come at you, I don't say rapid fire, but we're going to go through them pretty quick.
They're different. We are jumping all over the board for sure.
Yeah. And again, we're going to go from Braves to something completely different. We're going to have on Texas Tim, who's Tim Hutchings. He's a Lego master. He was season 4. If you've ever watched Lego Masters on Fox Network, he was Texas Tim. Ironically, he's Oklahoma, but which is fine. But he was called, his thing that he talks about is he's called Texas Tim. There was Tim and there was Tim, and I could show some of that, but again, copyright will hit us. But go to YouTube and do Lego Masters season 4 and watch some of Tim and Tim. If you remember, if y'all have watched any of the Lego Masters, Tim and Tim wore overalls pretty much every show that they were on, but they did great. I won't tell you how far they got, but he ironically still is involved with Legos. He has a Lego store. He goes to a lot of Lego events, and very excited to have him on. It's a fascinating. Again, we have a fascinating lineup of folks, and Legos and geocaching kind of fits. Don't y'all think that kind of is a good little segue?
There's a big crossover in fans.
Yes.
But for some people that don't know what Lego Masters is, why don't you give them an idea of just what you're talking about?
Yeah. So Lego Masters is a competition. There was they still have it. So every year they do again Fox. So if you want to go look for previous Lego Master seasons, and they're given they basically have a whole millions of Legos that are there for them to use, and they give them various tasks to create. Some of them are anything from it's got to be hanging, so they got to build it a certain way. They have others. They've had races where you've got to build a car to race the other cars, or they have boat races. So there's a lot of various things they do with the Legos. The Lego, plural of Lego is Lego, in case you're wondering. But and then they have folks that then judge that episode, and they'll give them credit for their creativity or how well this particular item works. They've done a lot of different. They do a lot of different things within it that are fascinating, and they're pretty tough. I mean, you've got to really know how to build your Lego, contraption. Mm-hmm. Some of them are harder than others. Some are more creative, and they really give them credit for all of that. So if they have a theme that's really cool, one of them that comes to mind, I think it was last year in Lego Masters, they did good old with the wet bandits from the movie where they
Home Alone.
Yeah, so they had a Home Alone version where they had to make a contraption to compete with the other ones. Everybody made a contraption that was sort of Home Alone themed, and so that was kind of fun. So they work in the graphics and they work in all these different things, and so you have to build it well, but you have to build it with some panache and some creativity. So this is kind of interesting to see how they do these things. And so the season 4 was fascinating to watch. And Tim Hutchings is going to be on. He and his buddy, also named Tim and Tim, we're going to have Tim on, not the other Tim. And so but it'll be fun having him on to talk about what it was like being on a Fox with the show, but also what's it like to be part of having to compete, but yet you got to be in the middle of you got to be a personality to talk about things. And it's be interesting to find out all the back what happens really behind the scenes that's not shown. So much footage, as you guys know, there's so much of that is filmed, and then somebody has to go back and produce the episode, the hour. I think they're hour episodes, but I mean they usually give them like 8 hours to build, which is crazy to think about. And they give them little twists and turns as well. So there's some parts to it I think will be fascinating to find out from him, like what was it like? What was it like to go through and have that kind of pressure on you to do that?
Well, I always wonder, and of course we're going to talk to him about this, but like our newest one is British Bake Off, but it's the same premise, right? They have a certain amount of time to do stuff. Mm-hmm. And as I'm watching it, I try to stay in the show, and just like with Lego Masters and the other ones, I try to stay in the show. But when they edit and they're like 3 minutes left, I'm like, you're lying. There's no way in 3 minutes. I'm like, how much? I always want to ask somebody, and they probably can't even really tell you, right? Like,
right.
How accurate is what you see on TV compared to what really happened in real life? I mean, they're not changing the outcome, but they change like the times and clips and what they're doing and what they're saying. And we see one thing on TV, but all those reality game show, things, it's so much different behind the scenes, like what we don't get to see. So I'm always curious if they can tell you, if they're allowed to tell you anything, but how close to reality is what we see.
Yeah. It should be really interesting. Again, I think it's always interesting to talk to somebody who is part of that, part of the, how did it really go? Somebody who was really there, because you only get to see part of it. You don't get to see all of it.
Well, like, what was it? We were, Jeopardy is like filmed all in one day or 1 week. And like, we never know that as an audience. We see it once a week and think that they've come back every day. And you're like, well, I guess they can't live there. So that's not, that's not what's really happening.
And that one's fascinating too, because there's so much we talked about the digital stuff earlier, but the analog of something like Jeopardy is that it really is, from what we had on, one of the Jeopardy, champions who got to go back for the Tournament of Champions. And, that he talks about how they, what you see is kind of what they see as far as now they're seeing it from a distance too, because they're standing in one area and they flip those screens and it's like, they literally do, and of course you're seeing it from a television perspective, but a lot of stuff he goes is just, it's just right there. I mean, they don't go back and digitize all of it. Some of that's analog. They just flip the screen and the screen pops up, and then he talks about how they had to, push the button a certain way. You want to do it fast because obviously everybody else is pushing the buttons, and so we should find some fascinating things.
It should be fun to hear the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
The deep, dark world behind Lego Masters.
Just the skill of being somebody that can create things out of Legos is just such a unique skill, because you have to be like right-brained and like super creative and like envisioning what you want to build, but also you have to understand like the left brain like mechanics of how Legos work, and like had a catalog in your brain of all the different kinds of bricks. I just can't imagine that his brain must have a whole section inside of his brain that can puts that all together in his brain. It's not just a toy. It is art. And it's really technical art. It's fascinating.
And there's some parts that he's gonna we'll talk about, but part of the thing that if people ever watch Lego Masters is they, like you said, Josh, they have to build it so well in certain times that it's gotta move. Some of them were like almost like a roller coaster. It's like roller coaster can look cool, but it's gotta work. And so some of their things you could see and they collapse and fall apart. It's like, that's not the time it's supposed to fall apart. That's because it's not supposed to fall apart right there. So should be fascinating. So
it'll be good. That'll be good.
Yep. So the next hour, again, we're doing Central Time, but adjust accordingly to where you live, which is of course Brian Roth will be back on. We've had him on. I have to go back and look, and we'll give some updates in future shows, but I think Brian's been on almost every year. I think
you wouldn't hear the first year.
No.
Right? And then I don't know. We have to go back and look. I know once he started coming, he never stopped coming.
Yeah,
like he's been totally good to go, and he's always been very supportive of Podcast to Hope, and us doing this show. And obviously, he has to walk a line, and everything else. But he does everything he can to be supportive and behind the scenes and
he does,
and on camera too. So you got to appreciate that he keeps coming back every year.
Yep. Brian is such a huge supporter of us, but also of Joshua and others and that are involved. He's a big sponsor of St. Jude. He has just been a tremendous supporter, and it's so great to have. I mean, he is a celebrity, in a sense, right? I mean, he's he's part of
at the top of the game, right? I mean, literally.
He's a fascinating, and he's really good. I know, Josh, you've had him on for probably for, well, I've talked about your podcast you do as well, but Brian's always good for an interview. I mean, he's very well. He's a lawyer. I think is his original title, I guess, was, and probably still has an attorney, but in front of his name. But he's really good at promoting geocaching, and he's a good interview.
Yeah. And he always wants to give out more information than he can, which is always so funny. And I think he always does slip a little bit of information out, but he's got to, he can't set his people up or whatever for something they can't deliver on. But he always gives a good kind of recap of where geocaching is, and not that he can say it, but like what could be coming up in the next year. So that's always a really fun. I'm always fascinated by that. Knowing we have 1,000 questions we want to ask him that we would never ask him on the air, right? But
right,
because we know we're very gracious that he's here. But I think he does do a good job of, and it's not, you know, he's not just not giving the information. He likes to talk about geocaching, and you know, he likes the excitement of people, and he's still excited by it. So yeah, it's fun to have him on every year. I think every year that he's willing to come on, he has an open spot for sure.
Yeah, I mean he's yeah, like you said, he keeps it close to the vest though. We've tried to get him to say stuff, right?
Yeah, I feel like he's as transparent as he can be.
Yeah,
but you're right, Jesse. I think sometimes he does sneak hints in without fully giving away stuff, which is just kind of fun. It's just kind of like a little bit. Ooh, what do you mean this by saying this? Oh, is that it? Is that a hint? You know. So I think he understands how geocachers' minds work. And, and he teases things without. He's really good at teasing things without giving things away. But also, are you giving something away? I love that.
Yeah. I do too. It's knowing you want to ask him so many questions, right?
Right.
But you know he can't reveal things ahead of time. There's no, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's great. It's right there on the line. I think you could probably go back and look at the previous years and go, oh, that's what he was talking about.
Exactly.
You already know now, right? Like the promotion came out later or something new came out. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, HQ aside and founder aside, he is just a top human being. He is an awesome person. And there's no surprise that he comes on here, but he obviously supports what we do and how we talk about geocaching, but he supports St. Jude. And I know he always says that's a really cool thing. So I don't think he does a whole lot of fundraisers. So I think that's really cool that he comes on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we totally get why he has to stay impartial. He's a public figure now in this game, right? So
yes.
Yep.
But still he does you can't beat it.
So a quick recap again. We're going through the lineup for this year's Podcast to Hope. If you can't give that, so two things. One is if you give the night of December 6th is the night of the event. Thank you for putting that in the notes. But December 6th is the night we're doing it. Saturday, December 6th. Please join us. If you want to give early, you can. Again, you can go to podcasttohope.com at any time. Even after, if we can't make December 6th and you want to give January 5th, whatever, you can always go to podcasttohope.com. You give there. The thing that we always want to mention, I think it's good to mention it each year, and that is we do not take the funds in. We do not then give it to them. It goes straight to St. Jude. We're just now we do have something I want to talk about here in a moment. We'll get into the coins that we're selling, and I'll explain what we're doing with that here in a moment. But podcasttohope.com is a link to it takes us to Tiltify. Tiltify is our link within St. Jude. So St. Jude provides us a direct link to them. So when you give to the podcasttohope.com, we don't see any of the money. It goes straight to St. Jude.
Yeah.
You get your donation straight from St. Jude as far as for business purposes, et cetera, et cetera. So which works great. We don't have to be involved. We don't have to be involved in any of that. So that works out. That part works great. So podcasttohope.com is where that is and will be. If you're wondering where we're at, I'm going to put it in the link. So let's talk about that real quick, where we're at. We have raised over 9 years. Again, this is our 10th year. We have raised $87,805.73. Every dollar, of course, goes to St. Jude. We don't pull anything from that.
No, zero. Yeah, it didn't touch our hands.
Doesn't touch our hands. So
that's a huge amount, though. And
That's
like that's not me and you raising that. That's
No.
people donating, right? So that's
That's-
credit doesn't go to us. It goes to everybody that's donated every year. And
Yeah.
obviously we're a niche game or whatever, right? But so I'm just so happy that people have donated that much over the years, and we could do that 100 times, and St. Jude still needs more for the research, right? But any
absolutely.
little bit we can do, I think, is awesome. And just for our little show to get to do that year after year, and we're closing in on our new goal, and I'm super excited about it. Every time I see it, I'm just blown away at the generosity of geocachers.
Yeah, very excited about the, hopefully we're going to get over, that amount. We're trying to get to 100,000. Our goal is 15,000 this coming up. And remember the early days, Jesse, of like, in case people are like, how much did you raise the first year? It's like, well, I'll bring it up we can show people.
That's the year we had the right on dry erase board.
Yeah, we had the old dry erase board to do
now
it.
They have the nice board, the ticker for us or whatever, but
Yeah.
dry erase.
So
the minute you got rid of the dry erase board was when you could join the gamers, I guess.
Yeah.
Those other gamers are looking at us like, these are the guys in our category. Like,
yeah, these guys are doing what? And they're going to be part of the game part. So those are in case anybody wondered, what we've done over the years. The first year we wanted to raise 1,000, we raised 1,000. Yay! The next year, 2,000, we raised 2,000. Next year, 4,000. We're getting excited now. Then we raised 5,000, which then got us to 7,750. Then we went to 8,000, which got us. We wanted to raise. Sorry, we wanted to raise 5,000. We raised 7,750. We wanted to raise 8,000. We got 10,000. So each year we've been fortunate and blessed by folks. We've reached our goal. So over the years we've raised. Now 1 year, 2023.
That's an anomaly year, yeah.
And we had an anomaly year, which that was the year that Doug McCrae, we'll talk about him here in a minute, but Ms. Pac-Man inventor, he goes, if y'all give, I'll just double whatever you give. It's like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. So then all of a sudden the mouths started pouring in, and we ended up we got 25,000 that year. So that was great. But yeah, so we're at a point now where we want to raise the 100,000. So we're excited to get to that point. So we are looking forward to it.
Even though 100,000 is an arbitrary number, right? Like, it didn't necessarily mean anything. And we'll talk about it on the show, but if you go to the site, quite often you can see what your money does. They kind of estimate, like,
yep,
people donate this much, helps us cover the cost for this, or a tricycle or a chemo or, something like that. And $100,000 makes a big difference. Every little bit helps. They need millions of dollars a year, but hey,
yeah.
You know what? Geocachers stepping up and doing that. Nobody has to do it, right? But
right.
There are prizes, and the prizes are overwhelming. It doesn't equal out what we're able to raise, of course, right? But people aren't doing it for the prizes; they're doing them for the good of giving. There's no reason, they don't get anything out of it other than that. Just generous
absolutely.
every year. Yeah.
Yep. All right, we're gonna move up to the next one. So over the years, it wasn't. Gosh, Josh, we gotta go back and figure out. So over the years, Josh has been on, and I've kind of given Joshua you go find a guest that you can have on during your hour or your 2 hours, depending on what year it was. But you've brought some incredible guests over the years, my friend. You had the guy that makes the DeLorean.
Yes. My friend Andy, who has the DeLorean. Yeah, he was great.
We've had on. You had what was the guy's name who did? He does a YouTube. He's a YouTuber.
Oh,
What?
Matt's Rad Show.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, his channel has turned into like a huge classic car channel. That's like that's really taken off. He has like thousands and thousands of views because he kind of niched down to classic cars. But yeah,
right.
Matt's great. Also, really memorable. We got to interview Katie, geocaching Katie, for 2 hours to talk about the Appalachian Trail. That was just
that's
like,
right. That's right.
That was just fascinating.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's always Gary, when you say that, I always just think to myself, who do I want to talk to?
Right.
and how can I lure in, charity, charity is a good pull for people to want to get on. That's why it's so cool.
Jude.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm always thinking. It's like, who do I want to talk to? So
your hour is going to be.
Yeah. Well, I'll just say this first. I love the TV show Survivor. It's like my favorite. It's like my favorite show. And it's on get this, guys, season 49 right now. Season 49. Season 50 is coming up in is that your sound effect?
Yeah, that's my non
sounds good. Yeah.
But
season 50 is coming up. Yeah.
I think you actually wanted to try to do this last year too, wasn't it? And we had a great
talked about it.
Yeah, we did great. We had Ains and we had Roxy on to talk about graphics and everything. But I think
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think in the back of your mind, you're like, I want to get Survivor. I want to do the Survivor thing. So I was like, well, if it happens, if you can make it happen, let's do it.
Yeah.
So here we are.
I sought out all my favorite survivors that I thought were like realistic.
Yeah.
Because if you're a fan of Survivor, the big guns are like Boston Rob, Rupert, the Parvati, these big, and I'm like, I probably can't get those people. So I was like thinking like next tier down maybe. So I reached out to people mainly on Instagram. I had actually got a response from somebody that was great, Eva, who was on last season. Who's actually from the Minneapolis. She was like, she responded. She goes, "Oh, I so want to do it, but I'm not available that night." So that was, I was like, "Oh my gosh, people are responding to me. This is fantastic!" There's hope. And so I think this person was like maybe the fourth person I reached out to.
Right.
And
it's really cool.
Yes. So from Survivor season 47, we're bringing on Saul Yee, or Solomon Yee, from Survivor 47. And he is he's a cool guy. He went fairly far. He didn't win it, but he's, on Survivor, there's always those people that you remember. There's some cast members they get voted off. Some survivors they get voted off and you don't remember them, but this guy I remembered, and I sought him out, and he was so generous. He responded, Gary. He responded right away.
Wow.
And he was just a little skeptical at first because he says, I get a lot of requests. I want to make sure that he is actually going to St. Jude, and I sent him all the information, the website, everything, and he's like, and right away he was like, I'm in. So I was like, oh my gosh. And I responded to Gary, and I said, I got somebody. I pulled through. I'm a man of my word. So
you did great, people. Yeah.
So Survivor is great, I think, because if you watch Survivor, a big part of the show is the hidden immunity idol, and they hide them in the woods. And every time I see people searching for these hidden immunity idols, I'm thinking they're basically geocaching out in the woods to get these hidden immunity idols. So I just really want to talk to Saul about what it's like to search for these, and sadly, I'm I'll just leave it there. I'll leave it there.
Yeah,
But
we'll leave it there.
but it's a part of the game to try to find these hidden. And they also do puzzles. So almost all the challenges are these puzzles.
Oh yeah,
it's very Survivor is very geocaching adjacent. So I'm excited to actually talk to him about geocaching. Maybe we can get him excited about it.
Yes.
But also I'm just really interested about the whole production and the whole experience of being out there on the island.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once again, it seems like there's a TV theme this year, but once again, it's peeling back the layers of you don't ever get to talk to somebody usually,
right.
That's been a cast member of Survivor or Lego Masters or whatever. That's crazy.
So I'm really excited.
And what's ironic about all that is that recently St. Jude did a talking about the whole thing about how you get kicked off. This sounds kind of weird because you have to kind of see the video, but they do talk about like getting voted off the island. They're talking about voting cancer off the island. And they just came out recently, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that. It's like perfect timing. So I mentioned it on YouTube or on Facebook. I said, it's very interesting that they mentioned having about kicking cancer off the island. And so
perfect.
I think we can splice that into Podcast I Hope right before Josh's hour. That would be
absolutely
awesome.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. So anyway, it's been good. So a couple things again, we're going to mention the last couple. We're coming up on kind of in the middle. We're talking through the reveal of all the shows. A couple things I want to mention too. And Jim mentioned they bought both Podcast Hope coins. Whoop, and I dropped it, but I picked it up. So we've got 2 coins this year that we've designed and made, and very excited for our production manager Dawn Treadway has been doing the coin designing. And so this year we are doing something unique, and I want to talk about the coins and talk about how this is going to work this year. So we have a $50 coin and a $100 coin. Why are they 50 and 100? Because all the proceeds are just going to St. Jude. So people are going to talk about, is that a coin or dinner plate? It's a coin. So the $50 coin, which now I can talk about more of, and that is the Podcast of Hope. Not my version of it. This kind of I've started to bang it around. So you're not getting this one. You're gonna get a good one, not one that hasn't been banged around like I just banged this one around. But it is a butterfly, a Lego butterfly.
Mm-hmm.
Lego's big. Chrissy talked about this the other one of those nights. We were talking about St. Jude, in that Lego is very much used or is given to the kids to play with. Obviously, they're huge. So it's going to be neat to talk with Tim about Legos. And so we made a Lego coin. If you look closely, you can see they're made of Legos. And so butterfly is another big item that is used for St. Jude. So Podcast of Hope. And then we did also for the backside 10-year item. So in the Geocache Network. So very excited for that coin. This one again costs 50, but think about this though. The 50 is going to St. Jude. So
and really the way to think about it too is we're not really selling the coins for people that donate $100 or $50. They get the coin. So
they get a coin.
We try to find a way to reward. This is the 10th year anniversary. A lot of these people have been here every year. And even though the money goes, when we donate, it goes straight to St. Jude. We wanted to find a way to reward people for donating. And this is the only year we're making a coin for this. It's the 10th year. These are all going to people who donate. And this is just people donate $100 or $50. They get the coin to go with it this year. So it's a reward for that. We're not selling these coins after this,
No.
The only way this happens is for St. Jude. So this is only going for that. If we're not getting into the coin making business, this is not what that's for. We wanted to find a way to reward people that have given year after year, and find a way to do it that we could. I mean, how else best than a huge dinner plate size geocoin, right? So.
Yeah, to give you an idea of the size of this coin. So we've been selling and still out there on the shop. We have the Cache Odyssey. Is this size? What's funny is that look at it versus the size.
The Cache Odyssey is already huge.
Yeah, and they're next to each other. It's not like a forced perspective thing.
Yeah,
they're right next to each other. And look how big it is. How big that St. Jude, Lego butterfly coin is. Again, they're right next to each other, so you can see the size of it. So, yeah,
cool. It'll look cool in the display.
It's great. That's huge, huge coin.
Kind of a centerpiece coin.
Yeah. So again, I like the way Jesse put it. You donate $50 to Podcast to Hope, then you get a coin. There aren't many left, Owen. Good to see you, my friend. Got to see Owen recently at his Cache Odyssey. So there's, I think you can see on the website too. I can go look here in a minute, but if you give $100 to St. Jude Podcast to Hope, then you can get the stained glass coin. And let's see if I got. I'll find it here in a minute, but you can kind of see behind it. I'm trying to find. Where's my? I'll find it in a minute, but it's stained glass, so you can kind of see. I don't know if there's a way I can do this where you can see it, but I'll show it here in a minute, and I'll get my light behind it. But just so you know, again, this one's $100. The money goes to St. Jude.
Mm-hmm.
It's for, again, Podcast to Hope, and on the back side of the it's on the front as well, but on the stained glass coin talks about Podcast to Hope. And apparently in the chapel at St. Jude, they have a saying there that says that they shall live. And so we added that also to the coin. So it's a great looking coin. Again, $100. This is really a cool all addition to your collection. So if you give 50 or 100, you then get a token of our appreciation, and you get to have this. Oh, I can use my phone.
Hey, Gary, before we move on past that, explain to people how, because this is separate, and they'll probably be gone by the time Podcast Hope gets here. So explain to people how they actually purchase that coin. I know we're not really purchasing the coin, but
yeah,
do they give the money? How does that work so they can make sure they're getting a coin? If you're thinking about whatever you're doing, these may be gone by the time Podcast Hope starts.
Yeah.
So don't think that that night there will be any left. Then everything's going straight to St. Jude, and then all this money will be donated. But tell them how they actually, donate or get that coin.
Yeah. So to purchase either coin, you're going to go to Etsy, and I'll give you the actual link here in a second. Let me grab
We'll put it in the show notes as well.
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes as well. But the link, let me find it. It's here it is. So it's basically Geocache Talk Shop. I just copied it. So here I'm going to give it to y'all. And so I just put it in the chat room, and I'm going to put it in banners so you can see it there. But you can go there at any point, and you can go to, thank you, geocachetalkshop.etsy.com is the link to that page, and you can then buy the $100 donation, and you can do the $50. So, and again, the great benefit to that, and then I got to use my phone with Dutch.
Yeah, that's so cool. I like that.
And isn't that fascinating? It's so beautiful. Dawn did a great job of designing both coins, and it's just beautiful it's like stained glass. So
yeah,
a fascinating coin, and beautiful, and yeah. So those are our little commercial for.
I want to say too that on Etsy.com, it's not like on Amazon where it says 3 left, order now. That's not a trick. It's not a trick like on some websites. There's only a few left. Whatever it says on there is how many there's left, and when that
That's
gets
all
to
that's
0,
left.
there's no more. We can't.
Yeah, we're not remaking those
anymore. These were, this is all part of this fundraiser. We're not making any more of these. So if you do want one, you probably don't want to wait till then. You want to go ahead and do it now. And all those that are bought, then we take that money and we'll be able to send it straight to St. Jude from there. So
yeah, we're giving it. So that is a little different. Obviously, we're doing this separate from St. Jude. With their permission, we did talk to the folks at St. Jude and told them what we're doing and how we're doing it, and we got approval from them on that. But they are special for the 10-year. This is our 10th year doing this. Can you believe it's been 10 years, Josh? We've done this.
It's crazy. Time
I
flies.
know. It's how time has flown over the years.
Yeah, I know
it's insane. We've been doing this for that long, but so they're great. And again, the money's going to go, for that. So it is amazing. Yep. Thank you. She did a great job. And she's and she's actually been involved with St. Jude as well. So it's kind of one of those weird kind of, everything connected kind of things. So being a nurse, she's been involved with St. Jude. So big, it's going to be a big night for that.
Yeah,
and looking forward to it. All right, let's continue on. We've got the next hour, next of the night. So we've got in a different, switching gears again, so a different thing, but we're going to have on the team.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting. We've never, very rare. Really, we've only done it, I think, once or twice.
Outside of Podcast to Hope, not really.
No, outside of Podcast to Hope, we've never had on everybody. So we're going to have on all of the four shows that we do. We've got us, the Geocache Talk. Then we have Gadget Talk with Chad and John, Pizza Ninja. Puzzle Talk, which we've got Charles and Tom. And then we're going to have on, of course, Challenge Talk. We got Tim and Emily. So it should be a fascinating, raucous hour.
That's a full room.
That's a full room.
A full room of talkers.
Yes. A bunch of you trying to get all those podcasters in one room is just kind of crazy. So that's going to be crazy to have. So it'll be fun, and we can give each other a hard time, and I'm going to try to bring up some stats. So everybody,
smack talking time.
I know. Yeah. So what it's always fascinating to see the different shows and how they do. All the shows are, of course, do really well, but it's interesting later looking back at the shows that really do well, and it's sort of interesting. A couple of the shows that we've done for Geocache Talk that have done really well have been things that that reference AI or technology. That's sort of, I guess it kind of makes sense, but then again, you're like,
it's what people are curious about, though.
Yeah, they really have. It's interesting how over the years, and this really for that's for another show we used to joke about. We still have that, but just where we're at. What are your thoughts, Joshua, on how we catch now versus
Joshua's been there over the years for all these.
Yeah,
just thinking, like, have you been on the other shows, or just like you've been on?
I have not been on Puzzle Talk, and that makes a lot of sense because I'm very right-brained. I would have nothing to contribute to Puzzle Talk. I don't know if I've been on Gadget Talk either.
What about Challenge Talk?
Yes, Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless you've been on that one, yeah.
I've been on Challenge Hack. I've been
I
on.
could remember Gadget Talk, and I
Yeah.
know on Puzzle Talk.
I was on Geocaching with Kids as well. When
Yes.
that was
that's
happening.
right. That was one of the first interviews.
And one of the best shows that you guys produced is, of course, I've been on Under the Lamppost.
Yes.
Every one of them.
Every
So
single
far.
episode of that.
That's right.
Actually, I'm a
Never missed
host.
an episode.
Actually, wait a minute. I'm a part of the Geocache Talk team.
Yeah, you are.
So I should just stay on, maybe.
That's
I
right.
don't know. We'll see.
Just make it more confusing.
Under the lamppost. There you go.
I do get to be in 2 hours.
There's the lamppost right there.
Oh, amazing.
Oh my gosh, there's a
I
little
love
bit
that
of
you have
fun.
it saved. Can you put that on me, please?
Oh, yeah,
Instead of-
absolutely. Here we go.
Oh my gosh. That's the
Under the
best
lamppost
intro
talk.
too. And I
That
feel really
was
really
spaghetti that
bad.
stuck to the wall. That one was a great one. I can't believe that happened. And I just wish we'd have written down instead of erasing all the. That made it to air. There were so many things that we're like, hey, let's do this, and then we thought, no. Oh yeah. I really wish we'd have written that down.
Yeah, we were committed to the bit for sure.
Oh, 100%.
And we played off that whole show like it was a real show. That was like that was like the fun part of it. I mean, it is a real show.
That's right. That's right.
The only intro that hasn't changed. That's so funny.
That's a good point, yeah.
It
doesn't need to change.
Well, it doesn't have to. It's perfect. It doesn't.
It's
have to
perfect.
change.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was done perfectly.
Yeah. And if you're an audio listener, I suggest get on YouTube, you got to watch that intro because it's high quality. Who put that together? Did Derek put that together?
I think Derek did. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's really well done. Really well done.
Yeah. And for those that are wondering, Derek has been busy. He will be part of Podcast to Hope. So I don't know how we're going to fit everybody in the show, but we'll have all of us. Everybody will be on.
Rapid fire fun that night.
We're probably going to fill. I think 10 is the amount. I think we will definitely have 10 for that. So, but
that'll be fun.
Pretty crazy. All right, so we got 2 more hours to talk about, and then we'll sort of do a wrap up. We got a couple things also we'll talk about here in a moment. But let's get into the next hour. And again, he's been on a few times before, but and he's also going to be doing this again from the Caribbean. And so, one of the things I think people don't realize is that we have hours that we provide, but we also have to try to coordinate all that. So I know, Joshua, you have sort of a prime spot. I guess, Saul was good with the 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern time.
That's when Survivor starts anyway, so that made sense.
There you go.
Exactly. But this gentleman wanted a late night slot because he's with family that day, but he wanted a little bit later. So the house that he's, the guest house is sort of winding down. He's like, I want to be later. So he's got the 9 p.m. Central, or in his case, he's 11 p.m. because he's not even Eastern. I think it's Atlantic Standard Time is what they call that.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's Atlantic Standard, AST. Well, I'm gonna double check that. But Doug McCrae will be back. Ms. Pac-Man inventor. Think how insane that whole story is. If you ever want to read more about and listen about Doug, we've done a couple shows with Doug in the past, and he talks about how the fascinating story. It is amazing where the fact that they were at odds with the company they were basically battling over copyright and infringement laws and all this, and whoever it was, whichever person that came about, and we need to ask Doug about that. Who's the genius who said, "Hey, instead of you guys fighting about the rights to this, maybe y'all could just sort of team up and make this thing happen." Is that incredible to think about? I mean,
what's funny about that is obviously it's an amazing story. He's talked about it a couple of times on here, and there's a Netflix special, and I mean, it's a huge thing, right? But even if he didn't have that, every time he comes back on the show, he's got the wildest news stories. Like, I mean, he's going to be on the podcast, The Hope from the Caribbean, right?
Yeah.
Like,
right.
And yeah, it's amazing. Like, I know he's still the number one souvenir getter for countries in the world. And like, who has that? Is it like, that's an insane stat. That's, he invented even if he didn't invent Miss Pac-Man, which is amazing. Like what the last time he was on here, he was hitting 20 more countries or something, he'll be the first one to hit every country in the world, and his travels and stuff. And he never talks about it. Like, we always talk about his travel, but you could spend a whole show talking about the caches that he's put out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and he helped us with Cache Odyssey, and like, he does a lot of stuff in the game. And I don't think people realize, because he didn't really talk about what he does, that kind of stuff that much, but like, he's done challenge trails and crazy, he did a Cache Odyssey. He did some other things too. And you could have him on for hours talking about all the crazy stories. Even the most recent stories are crazy, but like, he's got a bunch of other ones too. So
yeah. He's probably the most prolific geocacher I know. He's certainly the most well-traveled, and he's just does so much for the game. I mean, the Gilby Geo Tour exists because of him.
Right.
The guy mails out the geocoins to people. I mean,
crazy.
He is doing retirement well, and that's why he's called Retired Guy. In the geocaching world,
he owns that title.
Yes,
without a doubt.
Yes. So he's amazing. Yeah, I could sit and listen to him forever, and I've traveled with him in Germany, and I spent a week with him. It was just like the stories just go on and on. You could have him on every week, and you still would have enough content. So he's very interesting. Great to have him on. And this Pac-Man stuff is just a cherry on top, really.
Right. I mean,
it's insane. Something I forgot, and this is something also I want to mention, is we always have such great giveaways. So if you want to give tonight, again, podcasttohope.com, the money goes to St. Jude. But if you want to give that night, and this is something Tom mentions, is whatever you're going to give divided by 8, or in this case 7, because we have 7 guests. And you can give, because every hour we're giving stuff away. So during that hour, I've got something, again, this is real professional. But let me
well, while he's pulling that up, I want to explain real quickly. Yes, you're entered every hour, and we'll talk about each hour what we're giving away. The number one goal is just give money. Give it however you need to, however you can. But if you're wanting to kind of, like we all do as geocachers, we want to kind of game the system.
Strategize
every hour. Like what Gary was talking about, split it up, do it. I mean, any amount counts, right? Like we want you to give any amount you can. And the prizes are not prizes we bought. So we still didn't spend money on doing this. Everything we do goes to St. Jude. These were donated prizes. And every year we get good donated t-shirts and prizes and a lot of good things, which we'll talk about all those prizes. Not tonight, but close to the show. But we do have something else that we are going to talk about tonight for prize, though.
Yeah, I want to mention something that I fortunately thought about, and I knew I was probably going to see Doug at Gigastock, and I thought, I was thinking about I'm always thinking Podcast to Hope. I mean, 24/7, 365. I'm always got my ear to the ground, trying to think of stuff for Podcast to Hope. And I thought, because if we can have items that people are like, I want to give during that hour because I might win something. And I have a couple of these that I got, and I got him to autograph them. It was kind of odd moment. He didn't think twice about it. I thought, this is sort of weird. We just randomly, John and I ran into him. We're out caching in Morgantown, and I had him in my car. I go, can I bother you for one moment, Doug? He's like, sure. I go, could you sign these? And I found these.
That's great.
Love that.
Yeah, and so I've got these arcades, and he signed it up at the top. So right there, Doug McCrae, right there. So what a great item to win something like this, and you could show people, and you can go, hey, I won this, and not only is this the Ms. Pac-Man game, but I actually have the autograph of the person who invented Ms. Pac-Man, and so these are going out. I got two of them, two of these boxes, so they're both going to be given away during Podcast of Hope. So you get a chance to win this by just donating to St. Jude during his hour, and we've got a lot of prizes. That's the beauty of what we do is we contact various vendors, and we always want to mention them. You know, we've had Space Coast, Arted Crafted. There's several Cash Advance. These are all been such great.
And they've donated year after year.
Yeah,
they're not asking for anything. They're not even asking for us to advertise for them. And obviously, we're going to because they're allowing us to do it. So we're going to mention them many times because that's just they continue to step up and do it.
Yeah.
Now we have some. Are we able to talk about the other thing that's a prize? I don't know if the final word on that. He's in the chat right now, but I want to make sure I got a. Are we not saying that tonight? Are we saying it tonight or are we not?
Are we saying which one?
I didn't know if you had all the information on it. The other prize.
The other prize. We've got other prizes. Oh, yeah. I've got some information. Let me dig up what you're talking about. So
did you get what you needed to give it away?
Yeah, I've got information from Jeff May.
Yeah, I just didn't want to say if we didn't have all the information yet.
Yeah, I've got some of the information. So Jeff is behind the cache. Jeff is creating some special items. Jeff has been doing cache hunters. They're wanting to donate a big booster to the Podcast of Hope. So Cache the Line headquarters has been working to study all the enormous positive energy that results from years of inspiring support fundraisers brought forth by Geocache Talk for St. Jude. And so he has developed a very special exclusive set of cards for the upcoming Cache Hunters geocaching trading card game.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
he's put a lot of work into this.
Yeah. So these cards will promise a hefty benefit for game players using it in the game, but also very sentimental and heartfelt value for anyone who purchases the cards to support the children. So we're going to give away the money for that. Jeff, part of Cache the Line, is excited to donate all proceeds from the card sales to Podcast of Hope. So that'll be great. The first of its kind, their signature fundraiser cards for Podcast of Hope will be available gold, silver, and the holographic foil variants, each with increasing bonuses within the game. So you can get these cards. They're part of Cache Hunters that he's been working on developing and getting out into production. And so they're going to be available to purchase, and we're going to keep updates on the collectible cards that he's created. And again, the money for that is going to go to St. Jude. So we're very excited to be partnering with Cache the Line and Jeff. And so that's going to be exciting to watch that.
Yeah, and we'll get some more details exactly on the game. If you're not familiar with talking about, we'll talk about that more closer to time. And it's he's putting a lot of work into this, and it's fairly well. Obviously, Joshua knows you've been kind of behind the scenes too as well.
I haven't been behind the scenes on it, but it's kind of like a Magic the Gatherings type game for geocaching, kind of Pokemon Go, collectible cards, but also a game as well. And it sounds like these Podcast of Hope cards are going to be very powerful in the game because they're going to bring so much positive energy. So really geeky in all the best ways.
I'm in on it.
I love
I love
it.
it.
I love it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I play not as much as I'd like to, but I play some other games that are this style of games, card games,
Mhm.
and with my brother. I wish I could play it more often, but when you kind of get into it, it's one of those things. I kind of think of like collecting baseball cards. Like you get into it, and all of a sudden, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'm curious to see how it's going to play out in the geocaching world. I hope it's popular. Obviously, I think it'd be something really cool. If it works anywhere like some of those other games that I've played, it can be a whole addiction within an addiction, right?
Well, and it's so cool because these
Right.
type of games really build upon each other.
Yeah,
They get very complicated,
Yep.
which is kind of like the cool part about it, is that it just grows and grows. There's like thousands and thousands of like Pokemon cards, for example. So it's just like a game like this, it keeps growing. It's not set in stone, which is just kind of cool. So
Yeah.
kudos to Jeff for I know he's doing a lot of work on this game.
Yeah, he's
so.
working hard on that. So I appreciate him. We've he's always done some really cool stuff for Podcast of Hope and for St.
Oh
Jude.
yeah,
So
yeah.
very excited for him. All right, we're down to our last one. I know but I've got a little video I want to show because I love this video, but it gives you the last guests that we're going to have on. And so here we go.
Today is December 29, and I have decided that I am going to raise some money for charity. And this is how I'm going to do it. Now you're all going to think I'm nuts. You open the cache, and there's cash in there. Not a lot. Maybe a couple pennies, maybe a couple dimes, a couple quarters. I'm going to take that change home, and I'm going to put it in a jar, and I'm going to save it for a full year, and then I'm going to donate it to St. Jude's when Geocache Talk does their Podcast of Hope. We're going to start this right here, right now. I got Hailmeister here with me, and we're going to open up this cache right here. If there's any change in here, we're going to take the change, and I'm going to throw some swag in, and then we're going to put that change in the jar. Let's check out that second bag.
All right, what else we got in here?
Oh, I hear jingling.
Pencils, and there's some change. There's a quarter right there.
Nice.
Let's see what we got. Let's dig it out.
Lay it right out here in my hand.
There's a leaf. No, you don't,
leave that alone.
There's that.
What is that?
That's a quarter.
Okay.
That's really nasty.
We'll have to clean up. Oh.
In the first place. Okay. Couple pennies.
So we're up at 27 cents.
Wow, you got a nice haul here. All right, we got another penny. Oh, look at that.
Another nice quarter. Shiny quarter.
Yep. Let's see. Wait, another. Man. Holy cow. There's another penny and another quarter.
So we're up to 79 cents right now.
Yeah, okay. Oh, wait. Oh. Here's some more. Okay. Another penny. That's 80
cents.
And I think we're all tapped out here. Yep, since you can't come with the Buffalo nickel. So we'll put that back.
All right, so we ended up with 80 cents right here. There it is, 80 cents, at least we think. Because we're out geocaching, and Eric found a penny in this cache. It's only a penny going into the hashtag Coins for Kids jar. All right, good way to go, Eric.
It was so fun that so our last guests for Podcast Hope we're going to have on Hailmeister and the late great. He's not late, but he's
don't say late.
He's not vlogging anymore, I think. But we're going to have Neil Moore and Jason will be on to do Coins for Kids, so that'll be great. Looking forward to that. It'll be fun. So that's the last of our hours. So the 10 o'clock / 11 Eastern, the Coins for Kids, Neil and Jason. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. Well, let's go through and let's, I guess, wrap up tonight. So, Joshua, well, let's look. We have our special guest, Joshua. We'll let him go last. Let me go real fast. I think we're. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to show you guys. Keep your eye open. Hey, look, we got a buddy with us. Hey, he's excited. So it's always fun. We work on the list. I always, hit up Joshua early. I go, hey, got to start thinking about it. Think about your guests. So we need to figure out what we're gonna do. He's like, I'll work on it. I'll work on it. So every now and then I'll check with Josh. I go, how's it coming? He's like, I got a plan. I got a plan. Let's go. Yeah. Bill on the Move says Goliath. So yay. Einstein.
Copernicus.
The small
all the Back to the Future dogs.
That's right. That's right. So always excited. This is a great lineup. I'm really excited for, we got such a wild list. And so we do have, and we'll provide this for folks that want to start putting out. Please put this out on social media in different places, but we have the whole list right there. And we'll provide this. This will get out on Facebook here pretty soon, but there's the whole lineup. So it's so crazy. We've got somebody who works for the Atlanta Braves. We've got a Lego master, from Fox. Then we have, some local folks. Then we have Saul from, Survivor. And then we have, Doug back, Brian Roth back. We cast, the kids is incredible. The coins for kids become such a big thing. It's been amazing.
Oh yeah, I love it.
So interesting list. So what do you guys want to mention? What are some of your thoughts?
I'll go quick so we can get Joshua give our final thoughts. But
yep.
I think the big thing is, once again, we're raising money for St. Jude. That's the number one goal here. We want to provide entertainment and prizes as well. But the real goal is do what you need to do what you feel called to do, donate what you can. It's not going through us. The only difference this year of anything that's going through us is the coin rewards that we're giving people donating. If you want to do that soon, because those are going to be gone.
Yeah.
Those will probably be gone by the show. But that's okay, because if you don't feel like you want to do that, you want to wait to the show, there's going to be prizes every single hour in the show. We're going to have a weird variety of people coming on, right? But it should be fun. But we're also doing prizes each hour too. And all those are donated then. They're doing then. But that hour will be straight through St. Jude. So we'll explain how all that works. Number one is the donations. Number two is figuring out what prizes you want after that, because there's tons of prizes for everybody.
Yep. Josh, what are some of your thoughts tonight?
The geocaching community. We are a niche community, but we are a significant niche community. There's a lot of us out there. I was just doing some math. There's 600 GIF events happening over the next 10 days. And if you average that, maybe there's 30 people for a GIF event. Mine had 80, almost 70 or 80. That's 18,000 geocachers. These are people that are diehard geocachers. That's a lot of people. And the geocaching community can make a real difference. I don't know of a lot of other fundraisers that geocachers do. So this is our chance. This is our chance to bring some good into the world and really help some people. So yes, buy those coins. They're going to be gone before the event starts. So buy those coins, show up that night. Let's have some fun. And I just love to, we all do. I do a podcast that's geocaching adjacent. We talk about geocaching a lot. It's so fun to be able to talk about some other things that are touch geocaching, but also just it's fun for us to be able to interview people that aren't necessarily geocachers either. So I'm looking forward to that night, and I'm just really proud to be a part of it.
Yeah. No, speaking about, geocaching adjacent, it's a good opportunity to talk about treasures of our town. That's fascinating.
Mention those other projects that you kind of just skirted around there.
That wasn't on purpose.
You're good.
We're in season 3 of Treasures of Our Town, which is our podcast that is a travel podcast guided by our love for location-based games like geocaching. And we just enjoy having conversations, myself and C. Michelle, interviewing people places that geocaching and Munzie has brought us. And so like this tomorrow, our next episode, we visited a haunted library in Indiana that had a webcam in it. I don't know, have you ever been to that one?
I have, yeah.
The Willard Library. We talked to one of the librarians there. And that's tomorrow, for example. So just like to be able to talk about these places that geocaching brings us, because everybody says that's one of the reasons why geocaching is great. So really enjoying that.
In 201 geocaches to find before you die.
Yes,
What's in that book?
It's in there. Yes. Yeah, and speaking of that, we talked about the Toilet Seat Museum too, which was the number one virtual in there before it got archived. So yeah, really enjoy doing that podcast with Craig. It's just a little different bent on the geocaching hobby. And so yeah, we're 3 years in and we're still going. So and that we publish every other week. So yeah, thanks.
Very cool.
Very exciting.
So Joshua, it's probably that time again of the year where you and I need to compare our list in that book. We haven't done that in a while.
We should, because I have not. I don't know if
I have to go back and check. I haven't updated mine in a while. I'm just I don't know.
Is it the Ghost Cam in Evansville?
Ghost Cam,
yes, that's it. That's it. The Willard Library. Yeah.
The wild thing is, look at the photo that I took of the webcam, and there's something weird going on in the webcam.
It's a cool place, though.
Yeah, they say the hallway in the basement is the most where they get the most paranormal activity.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can hear all about it. There's a library. It's somebody that actually works there. Can you imagine working there? And she said she's the most skeptical of all the librarians, but she still kind of believes that things are happening. There's a teaser. There's a really interesting story about the library getting a spooky phone call in the middle of the night.
Oh dear. So
tune in.
Yeah,
tune in
I can't wait to hear that now. So,
that's awesome.
You're dedicated to the vlogging. Would you have stayed in that library overnight for your video?
Not alone. I would have done it with Craig.
Make Craig stay there. Yeah.
Yeah, I would have done it with Craig, but not alone. No way. No way.
Him to death, man.
Especially after hearing about this story of this phone call that came in.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
Amazing.
Okay.
Well, again, this will be available. You can share it with folks. We'll post it out on social media, and let people know. Again, we'll have things that night to give away. We'll have incredible guests, and we're just going to have a great time. And we want to raise, $15,000. That'll take us over the 100,000.
It'll be great.
It'll be great, and the cliche of it's all for the children really is for the children. This is
it really is. So, it's very true.
Yeah, very true. All right. Well, thanks everybody, and we'll see you next time. So good night, everybody.
Thank you for being with us tonight and supporting St. Jude kids like me.